What do I take away from the Eric Bieniemy situation about getting a head coaching position? Because I thought he would have his choice here, Nate. Now we're down to one, and it's still open. What do you is your sense that Bieniemy gets this job?
I'm not sure. That's still kind of up in the air. I feel like the Houston Texans have not really floated anything much at all about where they're looking in terms of a head coaching vacancy. But overall, in the big picture of the league, it's an embarrassment that Eric Bieniemy is somehow overqualified or not qualified enough, or does he call the plays? But he's under Andy Reid. How much true credit goes to him for the development of Patrick Mahomes? So in the Chiefs organization, what I've heard a lot was last year it was a lot of anger, a lot of frustration as to why Eric Bieniemy was not given one of these head coaching jobs, and sort of they were able to sort of use that as partly some motivation for him when they went out and won the Super Bowl, where they felt like, okay, now he can go into these interviews the next year and sort of say, hey, I've done everything that could be asked of me as an offensive coordinator. I've helped Patrick Mahomes. I've won us the Super Bowl. Guys like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill credit him a ton for their own development and their professionalism since they came into the league. So everybody knows he's a true leader. This year, it's utter confusion and just disappointment for the fact that Eric Bieniemy is a candidate that should be taken with serious consideration. It is kind of appalling that NFL owners have not seen the same things that you and I see, Dan. And, a couple weeks ago, Andy Reid, when it was starting to get to that Week 17 news cycle of, hey, how's your guy going to do this year? What do you want from him? Where do you think he could go? Andy Reid was pretty blunt in putting it on the owners. It's an owner's issue. It is an owner situation. And even Clark Hunt can't get some owners in the league, his own peers, to call him to see why Eric Bieniemy is the right choice to be a head coach. I think about the example last year where Jerry Jones and Clark Hunt did not talk. And therefore, Eric Bieniemy was not given an interview request from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they went their own direction with Mike McCarthy, and we'll see where that goes. But that sort of explains the issue at whole. Not even a respected owner in the league like Clark Hunt can sort of sway or sort of give advice to other owners in the league about why Eric Bieniemy should be a viable option to lead a football team.
I'll leave you with this, though, Nate. Andy Reid, 62. Has he talked about a time frame of how long he coaches? And is there a chance that, and I don't know why Andy would step down, given what he has, but with Eric Bieniemy, is there a chance that, hey, you may not get this job, you're the coach in waiting here?
If something were to happen, and that would take quite a bit, because I agree, Dan, then Eric Bieniemy, I think, would be the coach in line to follow Andy Reid. The problem is, when Patrick Mahomes signed his 10-year extension, he got pretty much clearance from Andy Reid that I ain't going anywhere, man. Like, I'm going to be your coach for the foreseeable future, right? Andy Reid basically told me back in the summer he might do this until he's 70, which kind of takes you through most of the contract extension with Patrick Mahomes that will last through 2032. So as long as Andy Reid has good health, as long as he's still on the cutting edge of innovation in terms of offensive play calling and play design, and obviously he has the talent around him from the front office, I don't see how Andy Reid leaves within the next 5 years. And he could honestly push this to 70 because he sees the success that Bill Belichick has had. And a lot of people need to realize that both of these guys are of a certain age and they're still really, really successful given all the younger coaches coming into the league trying to come after them.